I'm going to share with you the most powerful way to get amazing sound from your podcast. Are you ready? Okay, this guy. The Samsung Q2U microphone. I have now had 3 of these. 2 when I not first started, but after I got over my Blue Yeti phase, which was very quick because I did not like the sound of that in my apartment. And then this one very recently when my other one fell to the floor thanks to a horrible boom arm that just gave way. It was very sad. So here's the deal. If you are in an untreated room, which means if you're working from home, if you have the padded thingies all around and you have absolutely soundproofed your room, move on, use whatever mic you want. But if you haven't done that, and I don't think you need to, then you can use something like this. What it does is it picks up, it's a dynamic microphone, which means it picks up what is closest to it the most. What a Blue Yeti and other condenser microphones do is they pick up everything in the room equally. That's not useful for you if you have regular walls like I do, if you have tall ceilings like I do. That picking up everything equally is not good. Look, I've used this thing. I used this when I had construction going on upstairs in my apartment in China. I used this thing when I was unfortunately digital nomading around during the pandemic because life was very odd then. And there were lots of different sounds and things happening around me that I couldn't control. But because I had a dynamic microphone that was focused on what was coming out of here, not what was going on everywhere in here, I was able to minimize, if not completely take away the other sounds. Now, I do use some things because I'm a podcast editor and podcast manager, consultant, all of that. I do this for a living. So I have extra tools and extra plugins that I use to make it sound even better. But for this video, I'm not using any of that. This is just the sound in my apartment with my tall European ceilings and nothing on the walls. I have a little postcard on the wall. I have a postcard on the wall. Like that's all of the sound that can be absorbed into the wall in that little postcard, which is not a lot. Also, let me show you another thing. Do you see how close I am? I'm basically European kissing the microphone, okay, on one side of my mouth, not in the front. If you put it in the front, it gets all of that air. You don't want that. You can use one of those, if you do have excessive plosives, even while putting it on the side of your mouth, you can use one of those guards. Mine aren't that bad, so I tend to use the side mouth method. Now here's how you can hear what a dynamic microphone does. I'm going to keep talking as I move away from the mic, and you're going to notice that when I move away from the mic, it doesn't pick me up as much. Because when I move away from the mic, it's concentrating on things that are near the mic, not on things that are away from the mic. Can you hear the difference on how my voice sound? Can you hear the difference on how my voice changes as I get closer to the mic? Let me do that again, because this is really important with the dynamic microphone. I see some people that get good dynamic microphones. Samsung has some. ATR 2100 is also one. I think Rode makes some dynamic microphones. There's really good dynamic microphones. But if you keep them even this far away from you, can you hear the difference between this far away and this close? Can you? How about even two hands away? 2 hands away, this is what I sound like, versus European kiss style. It's a really big difference. And I know if you're using video for your podcast like I do, you might not want that microphone in your face. So you have to make a decision. Are you an audio first podcast or a video first podcast? If you're an audio first podcast, this is a very good choice for you. If you're a video first podcast, then maybe you'll want to get some other devices, have them further away from your mouth so that people can see your entire face. And then, go from there and then do lots of cleanup afterwards, or just leave it as is and assume that the video will take care of that and people won't care. You can probably tell from my facial expression, I'm not a big fan on not caring about the audio. I did have a gap recently where my microphone fell because of my horrible boom arm I can't say horrible. I had it for a while and it broke. So I was using this Samsung, same company. This is a condenser mic. So if you heard any of the intros to the past to season 3 of Podcast to Connect, this is what I was recording on. So this was picking up everything in my room. I had some issues with ordering. Yeah, I had some issues with ordering microphones, so I was able to get this one quickly, and I wanted to get it for meetings. So I got that, and I had to use it when I needed to. You can tell the difference because the interviews that or the conversations that I had with April in those episodes was with this before it broke. And then I had to do the intros as I was editing it, and I had to use this. So you can hear the difference between those two. Hello, and welcome to the 3rd season of Podcast to Connect, where we are sharing ways to help you grow your audience by looking at your greater media presence and your long-term project goals. All right, so I think I've given you some ways that you can hear the difference on how your voice can sound when you have and don't have a condenser mic, when you're close to versus further away from a dynamic mic. Sorry, the first one was also dynamic mic. The difference between when you have and don't have a dynamic microphone. The difference between when you're up close and further away, even just a few handfuls away using a dynamic microphone. There's a really big difference in this. And the best way you can do this is get a good dynamic mic like this and practice while you're recording and listen to it and come to the distance and the placement that works best for you, how you want it to sound, to look, to feel. You need to be comfortable and forget that the microphone's there. I've been doing this method for many, many, many years. So if it's not there, I feel like something's missing. When I was using this in those recordings, I felt like I had forgotten to hit record. I hope this helps you get good sound. The better sound you get going in, the less processing you have to do afterwards. And that's just, it's good with time, it's good with quality, and it's good with not creating other artifacts from using too many plugins and things that can damage the audio. So the less processing you have to do after, the better. Good input is good output, and good output is decent sound for your listeners so they can listen to your content, which is the point of what you're producing, is the content. The audio is there to get the content to them. The audio is not there to distract them or to wow them. People don't care about amazing audio. They care about being able to hear you and the value that you're bringing via your voice. Thank you very much. I hope this helps. Let me know if you have any other questions or when this helps you, leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear it. Thank you so much. Bye.